What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a hump day edition of Morning Scone, presented by Brock. Hope y'all are having an awesome morning so far. Not connecting. Bummer here, y'all. So I can't see anybody yet. Let's try one more time. Hang on one second. Inauspicious start. My bad, y'all. Inauspicious start. My bad. Coming right back. Alright, let's see. Hotspot's not working. Well, can't connect here. It's not connecting, and my hotspot's not working. So we may go old school. Reverse cam and all that stuff. Okay, well, guess what? We're gonna go old school. I'm gonna get out of this. I know this is why y'all watch, right? To watch me look like an idiot, not know how to do all this. Alright, whatever. Alright. Here we go. Now let's play a game, y'all. Let's see how many people watch Morning Scone who pop on here between now and the end of the show today and say, hey, man, you know the logo is backwards? I know the logo is backwards. Very, very aware. Dog it. What's going on with this thing this morning? Technology sucks. It's great. It allows us to do this, but it also sucks. All right, anyway. All right, let's say some hellos. Jamie Fitch, good morning. Stephen Bro. Jeffrey Sanford, good morning. Troy Shatner, Craig Schilling. What's up, y'all? Thomas Chapman, Jason Truax, Chad Dupuy, James Tyrone, Brian Wynn. Good morning, everybody. So, as y'all saw there in the headline, a couple things up. The LSU has confirmed the hiring of Eddie Smith, new hitting coach, volunteer assistant for LSU baseball. That's great news. Now it's working. Of course, now it's working. Okay, good. Hey. All right. Okay, way better. Let's see. Okay, so LSU has confirmed the hiring of Eddie Smith, a new volunteer assistant / hitting coach. They also, Boy, beginning of today's show has been a train wreck. My apologies. They also added 2 infielders. Paul Mainieri said, if you recall, remember they lost Christian Cairo, Miguel Cairo's son, who had signed with LSU. He was on campus, and then he got drafted, and they offered him like $500K over slot, and so he signed. Well, they were expecting him to be on campus. You also had Brant Broussard graduate, and considering how Hughes really struggled with the bat last year, as did Drew Bianco for the bulk of the season, Mainieri wanted infielders. So he went and basically scoured the country to find guys. And I saw James Moran at Tiger Ag tweeted it yesterday that that Mainieri added 2 guys who had signed with teams, had been drafted, elected not to sign with their pro team, and had been released from their letters of intent, their national letters of intent. So they're Zach's. Zach Arnold and Zach Mathis. Don't know a lot about either of them, but it will be confusing because you just had Z-A-C-H Watson and Z-A-C-K Hess, and now you have Z-A-C-H Arnold and Z-A-C-K Mathis. Zach Arnold, Zach Mathis. So anyway, So Mainieri did what he needed to do. Went out and added two more infielders. Let's see what info I can get us. Arnold, a California native, had signed with Oregon. When George Horton parted ways following last year. 34th round pick of the Orioles. Mathis, JUCO kid, was headed to Cal State Northridge. 38th round pick of Minnesota. Hit 351 with 10 jacks last year as a sophomore. So adding some talent on the infield, so that's all good. And remember, you're also bringing Kay Doty in as well, who may very well be your starting shortstop. You lose Bruce Hart-Smith up the middle, and Hughes is gonna have to go win a job, man, and Bianco's gonna have to go win a job. So, giving themselves options. The other thing I have there in the headline, and we'll get to your questions and comments and stuff here. I'll start reading them. About Tremont Waters signed a 2-way deal with the Celtics. Same thing that Antonio Blakeney did. Same thing Brandon Sampson did. Excuse me. I love that. Remember, if you're a second-round pick in the NBA draft, you're not guaranteed a contract. Only first-round picks are guaranteed 2-year deals. So, second-round pick, just because you're taken by a team, doesn't mean that they're going to sign you. So, Waters has gone over to the NBA Summer League and balled out as everyone expected he would. I mean, everyone who watched him. And so the Celtics have signed Tremont to a 2-way contract. So that's awesome. If you're not familiar, a 2-way contract is a newer contract in the NBA, excuse me. Where you can spend you split time between the G League and the NBA team, but you're guaranteed time in the NBA. So this is what Blakeney did and what Sampson did, and ultimately earned NBA contracts. So it didn't take long. It took a couple of summer league games for the Celtics to realize, oh, he's good. Okay, yeah, he can play. Let's sign him. So good for Tremont, man. It's awesome. Okay, let's see. Terry Shipman, good morning. Trivia Carter, top fan. Got that status, Trivia. Thanks for the support. Sharing is caring. Speaking of which, I'll go ahead and share it to my personal account as well. Done. Let's see what y'all got this morning. Hey, Aunt Mary, good morning. Tyler Hales, I'm the ripe age of 34 today. There you go, Tyler. Happy birthday, man. July birthdays. Boom. Let's see. Matthew Rogelio, good morning. Jeffrey Sanford, Josh Long. I need my top fan status. Josh, gotta share, man. Sharing is caring. Share, like, comment, all that stuff. Anyway, Thomas Dale Chapman, sponsored by CORB. when it was backwards. Well, now we got it right. It's Brock. Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Let's see. Hey, Dawn. Good morning, Kelly Presley. What are your thoughts about the new hitting coach? So, talked about it a bit, so forgive me for those who have heard it already. I think, number one, status quo would have been a bad thing. If you had just gone into next year saying, we'll do the same thing we did this year. Especially considering last year you had so many veteran guys. You had Watson and Duplantis. You had Cabrera coming back as well. You had Josh Smith coming off of injury. There was a lot of reason. I mean, there was a reason LSU was number one in the country last year, preseason. And it just didn't go well. I mean, you had two guys hitting sub 200. Like, no baseball team at any level can achieve anything of significance when you have two guys in your starting lineup hitting sub 200. I think a change is probably a good thing. I don't think you can throw all the blame at Ochinko, and it's hard for me to blame a volunteer assistant. Keyword volunteer. So I like the change. And Eddie Smith coming in from Tulane. Tulane had a lot of success the past few years offensively. Cody Hosey was a Golden Spikes finalist this year, had 23 homers, first-round pick. So I think all that's great. He also played for Mainieri. That's the one thing I wonder. Like, number one, how much of the offense is because, well, Conference USA, How much of it was supplemented because you had a guy who hit 23 homers, and that can certainly skew statistics when you have a guy who has a bang-up season like that. But I also realized when you're trying to go recruit a volunteer assistant, your pool is going to be limited because some people aren't going to work for free. Now, in fairness, it's not completely for free because they can work camps and certainly at LSU with the summer camp, you're going to do well with that. Give lessons and stuff, so there's ways you can cobble together a living, but it's still not what, ideally what you'd want in being a full-time assistant. So candidates you can attract are limited. I don't like that Paul keeps hiring former players. Eddie Smith played for him at Notre Dame. It's not to say that none of his former players can be good coaches, but man, at some point, cast a wider net. But we'll see, man. I think change, as Sheryl Crow said, a change will do you good. Let's see. Johnny Marchisi, good morning. Craig Schilling. Oh, these are still doing the reverse comments. There you go. Chad Dupuy. Okay, I'll share now that it's working. Stephen Miller. Hey, Dad. Good morning. Nice of Matt waiting until General Wade interview was over. LOL. They had, honestly, Stephen, I mean, some of y'all don't believe this, but y'all have seen me do this now for 470 straight days. I stay in my lane, man. So I'll have to go back and listen to Will Wade. I didn't listen. I didn't know he was on. I wake up, we get Drew ready for the day, and fire this thing up, make my coffee, try not to yawn through the whole thing, like I've done today. But I'll go back and listen. Brian Wynn, good morning. Jimmy's gonna be sad. Fix logo view. Hey Cheryl, good morning. Stephen, bro. Brian Wynn, Matt, any surprises expected next week at SEC Media Days? I don't know what you mean by surprises, Brian. I'm trying to think just in the years that I've gone, if I could say there were any surprises. Typically, the surprises are people who, some of the athletes that stand out that maybe you haven't heard of. That happens. Guys show up and they just have a big personality, and the media just eats up what they have to say, and they do really well. I don't think LSU's announced who they're taking yet. Have they? The list of attendees. I don't know if they announced. Maybe they'll announce that today. I know LSU's going on Monday. I don't think they've announced their list yet. My guess, if I had to guess who LSU's bringing, and again, like I said, somewhat out of the loop, not working this week, but if I had to guess who LSU's bringing, they're going to take Joe Burrow, Rashard Lawrence, and Grant Delpit. That's my guess of the three they'll take. It's who they should take, quite honestly. And all three would represent themselves and LSU very well, so I think that's who they'll take. Let's see. But as far as surprises, I don't think so, man. I guess I'm interested to see what Greg Sankey says. That's always, for me, really interesting. The commissioner opens all of media days with his State of the Conference address. And that's typically where the commissioner will lay out his agenda, things that he'd like to see happen in the world of college football. Be it staff changes or cost of attendance, or if it's realignment, or like all those things. That's typically where the commissioner will put forth his agenda. So that's always interesting to hear. And then the other thing about this year is there's no new coaches. For the first time in, I don't even know how long. That's something I'll have to go read up on, is the last time there were no coaching changes in the SEC. But everybody's, normally that's appealing as well. Okay, what's the new coach is going to say? Like last year, Chad Morris was coming into Arkansas. Okay, what's the new coach is going to say? Jimbo was Jimbo was a huge storyline last year, first year at A&M coming in. But man, no new coaches. Maybe Alabama hangover coming off the loss in the national championship game, like that'll be a storyline. I'm assuming Alabama brings Tua. They need to, and if they do, then he's obviously the main attraction of the week. He'll likely be the first pick in the draft next year. So, Sean Pumphrey, Blake Dayries, good morning. Brandon DeVille, why is Josh Smith waiting so long to sign? Brandon, I talked to Josh. That's a few weeks back, and said he had not even heard from the Yankees at that point. Like, they hadn't even called him. So it's obvious what's happening is they're doing exactly, and this happened, if you remember, with Alex Lang. This happened with Renato, happened with Gausman, happened with Nola. Some teams want to get their guy inked and get him going in rookie ball. Other teams play the game, and they will wait until the bitter end. I mean, Alex Lang literally signed within like 30 seconds of the deadline. And the reason they do that is they don't want to give you time to think. It's either you take their offer, and they're going to get you, right? So what they'll typically do, and this is what they did to Alex, he told us on our show, they came in with a super low ball offer, like with a minute left. Like a minute. It's like a minute to decide. Are you coming back to school or are you signing with us? They came in with a super low ball offer. He was like, freaked out. And so then they countered and bumped it. And it was way more respectable, but it still wasn't, over slot or anything like that. So that's what's happened. I guarantee. Like, Josh Smith is going to sign with the Yankees, but it's going to be very likely a deadline signing. And they're just playing the game, waiting to the very end. And it sucks because you're like, how do you build, trust with your between the player and the organization if you don't negotiate in good faith? But that's what some of these teams do, man. Brady Beacon, Ronnie Dugas, what's up, Troy? How's the knee feeling? Good and bad, Troy. I'm minimizing it, taking a bunch of Advil, trying to stay off it as best I can, getting a little more range of motion, but still really limited, man. Carly Cat, who is going to cut now? So who is going to cut now? Hope he learned his lesson from last year. Oh, you're talking about Mainieri? I don't know. Carl, I don't know if they have to cut spots. I'd have to do the math, but I don't know. And here's the other thing to remember. You can go through fall ball heavy. So you can have more guys on your roster in the fall. You can have over 35 on the roster in the fall. So you really don't need to make that decision until you report in February. Now, obviously, you'd like for those guys, if there are going to be guys where there's attrition, you'd like for those guys to be able to find a spot to play somewhere else. So that's why if you identify that guy, you make that decision earlier. But last year they were very heavy carrying pitchers. And maybe that's part of where they cut. I mean, I think there's some obvious ones, guys that have been injured that haven't pitched. To see, especially with the addition of a lot of the power arms as potential candidates to move on. But I don't know. I'd have to do the math, Carl, to see if they're heavy. But remember, they can carry a roster over 35 through fall, so it's not urgent. Let's see. Lenny Moss, what's up, man? Auditions to be morning Scone meteorologist. It gonna rain. Yeah. Family Guy reference. Stephen Miller, who are you most interested in talking to next week at Media Days? Quarterbacks. For me, it's always quarterbacks. I think every program should be required to bring their quarterback. And some of the best conversations I've had have been with quarterbacks, even guys that were off the radar. The kid last year from Ole Miss, Jordan Ta'amu, I thought he was fascinating. The 2 years ago, the quarterback from Vanderbilt, Kyle Shermer, was a really bright guy that I enjoyed talking to. So many of these conversations are forgettable. You get 3 to 5 minutes with a guy. You try to do something impactful, get something meaningful out of a player in that type of situation. I always respect the teams that bring their players to Radio Row and allow them to go have that experience, because not everybody does. Vanderbilt's always great about it. Georgia will do it. Ole Miss, I don't want to start naming schools because a lot of them do, but why not give them that experience? Let them go do 10 interviews on Radio Row. Over that, you got an hour. Let them go do 10 interviews and pop on in all these different cities and get that experience. But most excited to talk to or interested in talking to will be Tua and Fromm. They'll be in demand, but those two would be the most interesting. Let's see. And you know what else I'm curious? I'm curious if Missouri's going to bring Kelly Bryant. See, this is why I would always say, man, you got to bring quarterbacks. So Kelly Bryant's a fascinating story. He's at Clemson. He's a starting quarterback. Loses his job to Trevor Lawrence. Doesn't play the rest of the year. Announces he's going to transfer. Goes to Missouri. Well, now Missouri's in a situation where they're popped with a postseason ban. They're appealing, see if they can be eligible. But Bryant is the presumed starter, but he's never taken a snap. So do you take him to media days? In my opinion, you should. I mean, he's the guy. He's the guy everybody wants to talk to from that team. So it's a fascinating story coming in from Clemson. I'd be super interested to talk to Kelly Bryant. I still don't know if they're going to bring him. Jeffrey Sanford, where's the star of the show? He's on the couch in there watching TV with his mama. So hopefully he comes in here in a bit. Hey, babe. Yeah. Is Drew going to come in here? Rick Lackney, good morning. What's up from Chattanooga? There you go. Cassidy Russo, good morning. Ronnie Dugai, good morning. Top fan. Cheers, Ronnie. Thank you. Sharing is caring. Also, a reminder that Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, sponsor. They're tagged in this post. If you could like their page, it's huge help. More importantly, if you need an orthopedist, please call our friends at Brock. Go by and see him. Let's see. Shane O'Callahan. Good morning. LeMahieu with the bunt last night. That's too bad. Had it on. I wasn't locked into the All-Star game. I saw Bregman get his hit. I actually had the sound down, so I don't know if they ruled it a hit or an error. He hit the ground ball to third. Rocket shot. Arenado couldn't handle it. And then he scored on the double. So, yeah, I didn't watch a ton, honestly. It was on. I just wasn't locked into it. Josh Long show's kind of quiet today. I know, right? That's what happens when Drew's not here. Luis Salaman, good morning. Brian Ashcraft, good morning. Kenneth Westbrook. Is there any way we could get a new pitching coach also? Can't seem to develop pitchers the way we should. Hey, Kenneth, I just completely disagree with that. I don't know how you can look at, Alex Lang showing up on campus and, as the lightest recruited of those guys in that staff, in that class, and becoming a first-round pick and, one of the more dominant arms LSU's had, and think you're not developing guys. How can you think that Aaron Nola didn't develop? Kevin Gosman didn't develop under Alan Dunn. How can you think Jared Poche didn't develop throughout his career? Even you could take a lesser-known guy, like a Nick Bush, who shows up on campus, toils away, and by the time he's a junior is throwing low mid-90s and becomes a really key guy for you from the left side. I just disagree, man. I think Alan Dunn is the guy that every pitcher on that staff will tell you they trust implicitly and is great. Is great at what he does. The fan perception about Dunn surprises me because it's just wrong. The thing that you can't control are the injuries, and when you look with sort of a narrow vision, you think it's exclusive to the team you watch or cheer for. It's just not. We talked about it a bunch this year, man. The injuries happen all over college baseball, and so much of it is kids showing up on campus having been overworked in high school or travel ball, and they show up with dead arm and they get into a college throwing program and they can't keep up with it. I mean, I think that's as much a problem as anything, and it's certainly not a unique thing to LSU. I mean, Auburn had their entire rotation at one point this year on the shelf. And Davis Daniel, who's their best pitcher, threw in 4 innings this year and then was done. So, happens all over the place, man. Matthew, how much does that volunteer position pay? Well, nothing as far as salary, right? But they get to, at a place like LSU, they get to run the camps, the summer camps, and so they can make money that way. You can make some good money doing that, but you're not getting a salary. But that's why at LSU it's more appealing than other places, because you can make some money at LSU. Hal Jubin, what's up, man? Sam Dixon, good morning. Craig Schilling, Hal is hitting 146 in 14 games at Cape Cod. Wow. Man, last summer Hal Hughes hit 300. They were super optimistic because last summer he went to the Wooden Bat League and hit 300. So they were really interested or excited in having him come back and see what he might do. Let's see. Shane O'Callahan, really? We have a pitching coach. It should be a pitching coach in the majors. I just think Dunn loves Baton Rouge and is super content to be working with college kids at this point in his career at a place like LSU. I mean, everything runs its course, but Alan Dunn's not the problem at LSU, y'all. So Wood or BB Core are the same results. Mission accomplished, right? I mean, they wanted the BB Core to act like Wood. So, Derek Matthews, good morning. Kenneth Westbrook. Maybe we should start developing the studs we sign instead of relying on talent they have when they hit campus. Kenneth, you're just missing it, man. They have developed a ton of guys. I don't know where you're coming with that, man. That's some fans. That's what, like, there's this pocket of LSU fans that have that idea that LSU pitchers aren't being developed, and it's just wrong. I mean, injuries happen. That's undeniable. They've happened to a lot of guys, but to not observe the growth or acknowledge the growth and development of pitchers during their time at LSU, what about Devin Fontenot? I mean, Fontenot showed up on campus, sinker baller, pretty good out of the bullpen. They thought he might be a starter. Look at what he did this past year. He didn't develop. Todd Peterson didn't get any better during his time on campus. Mark Landry, still holding strong, 54 viewers, despite the fact that Drew's not here. Maybe it's not Drew's show after all. Let's see. Ronnie Duga, are you staying all week? I guess you mean it in media day. So we'll leave on Sunday. We get there on Monday, and so we'll be there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Now, I'm not doing my show on Thursday. By the way, OTB and Jimmy Ott will be there for Sports Today. Handographs off. So we have OTB, Sports Today, and then AFR. The last day of the event, it ends at noon. So by the time I start my show, there's literally, the event's over. It ends at noon on Thursday. So there's nobody there. By the time I start my show, it's empty. They're like breaking down tables. By the time I finish my show, I've done this before. By the time I finish my show on Thursday, they're like turning off the lights. It's like the guy just coming through, like sweeping the radio. I'm like the only person still sitting there. So a couple of years ago, we decided, hey, look, let's not do AFR on Thursday. Do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then prepare as much as we can for Thursday and hit the road. And then have somebody back in studio sort of playing air traffic control, right? Earlier today, Matt caught up with. If you missed it, here was, so it's kind of a best of and a recap of the final day. Ronnie Duga, listening to AFR yesterday, really good radio. Do you pick who guest hosts? Yeah, we pick our guest hosts. So I know Anthony Renato guest host yesterday, and I saw he had a bunch of baseball guys on with him. I think he had Will Harris, and I know Mikey sat in with him for a while. So I had Kyle Orso from Marucci, had Gosman on with him as well. So, yeah. So Renato's doing a bunch of media stuff, man. He's got a podcast now. Just really into producing good content, and he and I talk a bunch. We're kind of collaborating on some things together as well. So I asked him if he was interested, so he said yes. So he hosted yesterday. He's going to host today as well, and then James Moran of Tiger Ag is going to host Thursday and Friday. Ryan Broussard, good morning. Craig Schilling, according to Jordy, 18 isn't that special. Craig, I kind of agree with Jordy, man. I like the fact that it's something that happened organically, right? Like Mock gave it to Hester and Hester gave it to Dixon, and then it's something that they said, okay, let's make a thing out of this. I think that's how traditions should start. They should happen naturally. They shouldn't be forced. I just don't care. Like, I don't care who wears 18. I don't care who wears 7. I would say you could put a giant poop emoji on the middle of the jersey. As long as you go play, I don't care. Like, I get it. People gravitate toward their traditions, and I mean, and Hester's my guy, man. I see him every day, and and I know that's a big thing. I'm not like saying don't do it. I'm just saying I really don't care. Like, I don't care who wears 18. I don't care. I just don't care. I don't know any other way to say it. Like, we'll talk about it because I know there's a lot of people that do, and if you do, that's cool. I just don't. Anyway, but here's the other thing, though. So to your point, Craig, Jordy says he doesn't think 18 is special, but Jordy goes gaga over number 7. Like, he thinks 7 is a big deal, and whoever gets 7, I don't care. Like, there's a big deal that they gave Giles 7 last year. So, I mean, James Gilliard wore 7. I mean, this is like an all of a sudden new thing with 7. Whatever. And James Gilliard was a good player, but he wasn't Leonard Fournette, wasn't Tyrann Mathieu, Trev Falk wore 7. Trev was a really good linebacker. Who else wore 7? I'm trying to think. Anyway, whatever. But the point is, let's see. Brian Stock, biscuits and scone. There you go, man. Charlie Cavell, good morning. Stephen Miller. Your under 50 viewers might need you. I know. Hit the share. Bump it back up. I can hear Erika trying to coax him, but he's sitting on the couch with his mama. Like, there ain't no way. If Erika wasn't here, he might run through here, but he would definitely run through here. But hey, Drew. Drew, you want to come see Dad's show? Troy, during media day, are you more interested in finding out more about the player or about the team? So, it's a really good question, Troy. It is. You're on point. Hey, bud.
Go see Dad's show.
You want to come see Dad's show? Oh, he's latching onto you like a spider monkey, like a tree frog. Hey, Drew.
You want Daddy to do Rocky Rock?
Drew, come see Rocky Rock.
Go see Rocky Rock. Will you see that after abilities right now? He does on the couch with me. This is what he does.
He's got you like a tree frog. I mean, he is latched. What is so funny? What are you laughing at?
Where's Dad's show? You see it?
Come see.
Go see Dad's show. Go see. You better go see Dad's show?
You better come see me, little boy. We gotta go see Dad's show. You gotta make your
hi.
appearance.
Say hi.
Alright.
Well, Mommy's saying he don't want to do Dad's show.
Say hi.
Walk.
You can say hi, Dad's show? Hi, Dad's show. I'm going back to my mommy now. Done. You wanna do some Ask E-Rock?
Sure, I was going to do. Oh, look, you want to spy this crawl bear.
Okay. All right, Ask E-Rock. Here we go, y'all. Erika's standing here. Drew's over there playing with his crawling bear. So, y'all hit up some Ask E-Rock if you got them.
We go heat up my breakfast. Get them.
Okay. Oh, I got to answer who was that? Troy? I got to answer Troy's question. So, Troy, one of my the concept of SEC Media Days is great. Bring a ton of media all in one place and have them cover your league as sort of a primer for the season and get people football ready, and you bring coaches and players. It's a great concept. The problem is, in recent years, coaches have, as the event has gotten bigger, coaches have tried to squelch their players from saying anything. And coaches trying to say that. It's why Les Miles was great at this event. It's why Brett Bielema was great at this event. It's why Steve Spurrier was great at this event. Like, it's okay to show up and have some fun and be candid with your answers. But so many coaches now don't want to say anything of consequence, and they coach up their players not to say anything that's going to end up as bulletin board material. So in some respects, you have to cut through mountains of BS to get to things of substance. So I don't know that you're going to learn a tremendous amount about teams themselves. To answer your question specifically, Troy, what I find interesting is when you can have conversations with players and you can find out things that get to know them a little bit. I'll give you an example. Do you remember Ralph Webb, who's a running back from Vanderbilt? He finished his Vanderbilt career as the all-time leading rusher. I would have never, ever talked to Ralph Webb in 100 years ever. But they're walking Radio Row. The SID comes up. Hey, I got Ralph Webb. If you want to talk, come on. Sits down and starts looking at his bio. Kid's from Gainesville, Florida. So he and I just started talking about how he grew up a Florida fan, grew up in Gainesville because he was small, never got a sniff from Florida, but wanted to play in the SEC, so went to Vanderbilt, and then every time he got to play against Florida, it was like his Super Bowl. See, I find that really interesting. Those types of stories are the ones for me that are last year. There was a kid, an offensive lineman from Arkansas named Yelta Froholt. He's legit. He's literally a Viking. He's from Scandinavia. His family's from Scandinavia. He speaks multiple languages. That's interesting to me when you get to know the person behind the jersey number and the name on the back of the jersey. So that's the thing that I love about SC Media Days. You get to tell those stories a lot. So, all right, ready for Ask E-Rock?
Sleep all night.
Huh?
And you get to sleep all night in bed by yourself.
And Erika said, and you get to sleep all night in bed by yourself without Drew waking us up. But I'll tell you, there's a lot I don't like about SC Media Days. I don't like being gone for 4 days from Erika and Drew. I don't like. It is a super, if you ever listen to AFR, it is a super regimented show. I prep all day and I plan my show is done by the time I sit in my chair and turn on the mic. All I have to do then is go execute it. It's like the week of game prep and game planning, and then it's Saturday and you get to. Sorry about that. That was Jacques Doucet calling, very likely about the Red Rock and Blue, possible cancellation or postponement of the celebrity game. What was I talking about? I forgot. Oh yeah, thank you. AFR is very regimented, and Media Days is every day you show up and it's completely clean slate, and it could be very scattered because you never know who might just walk down Radio Row and say, hey, you want this guy? And so then your whole show flips. Anyway. All right, here we go. Matthew, welcome to the party, Drew. Aaron Sanders wasn't Mealy number 7. Yeah, Mealy was 7. I can go through a lot of number 7s. I was trying to think of more of guys that weren't awesome players like Fournette or Tyron. Okay, here we go. Kirk Taylor. I'll move the mic a little bit this way, Erika, so that they can hear you too. Ask E-Rock, what is the theme name for Drew's birthday? Hope you and Scone ran my suggestion. Hope you Scone ran my suggestion by you on Drive on 5.
Oh, that is so cute. You didn't tell me that.
I don't remember that.
I couldn't think of a word to rhyme with 5. And you never said drive.
I don't remember that.
Kirk Taylor?
Kirk Taylor.
You better apologize, Kirk. You did not tell me that.
I don't
love
remember that.
No, it's truck on over because I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with 5. And I asked Matt to ask y'all, and he didn't tell me
Truck
drive.
on over's good. I like truck on over.
But it's no longer, that was only on the invitation. There's no truck on over once you're here. You're not trucking over once you're actually over. So I couldn't use that. It's more just Drew as 5.
Got it.
Yeah.
Here's Craig Schilling. Ask E-Rock, what is Drew's viewing show that you like the most?
I like Sesame Street.
Sesame's good. I like Big Block Sing Song too.
I don't. That's just silly.
I think they're super creative.
Well, yeah, but it's just their songs. Like I like Sesame because I think he learns a lot from that. Like he learns his letters, he learns numbers. Like he actually learns from it. So I like watching that with him because he knows.
Some of them are fun too. They make them adult fun.
Yeah.
Like, okay, Shane O'Callahan asked E-Rock, what's her favorite sport and why?
Football, because there's only like 10, 11, or 12 games. First of all.
Okay.
While it dominates the whole weekend, it's at least, and I understand football. Like I don't understand. Basketball is way too many games. Baseball is way too many games. Like way too many. They need to cut that out.
They need to cut that out. They need to cut that out.
These 3 weekend series, play once. Football, we don't play them 3 times a weekend.
But
we don't play Alabama Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So why do again? That's why I think baseball. I don't like baseball.
Because when you have a different starting pitcher, it changes the game.
Oh well, you have a different starting quarterback's going to change the game.
But you have one starting quarterback.
But no, we have lots of quarterbacks.
Erika, you have one. Joe Burrow plays all the games for LSU.
Okay, but so then why is there one pitcher? Then get one pitcher on baseball and play one game. Stop doing these whole weekend things where I got to watch a baseball game on Friday night, I got to watch it on Saturday afternoon, I got to watch it on Sunday afternoon. That's ridiculous. I like football because you play one time and that's it. This 3 series thing on baseball is just ludicrous.
Okay. Charlie says, ask E-Rock if she's going to make a special guest appearance on Whiskey and Wine and give us a breakdown of the performance of LSU's wide receivers.
Possibly.
Oh, really?
What's at night, so I'm dressed by then. And, right now I'm never up and dressed.
But a lot of times you're also getting Drew ready for bed.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
But I don't want to talk about the wide receivers. I don't even know who they are.
Okay. See. Ask E-Rock, top of the 9th, down by 1, no outs. Do you bunt?
No, you hit a home run because now that I watched the home run derby, that's all baseball should be doing. You play one game a weekend and you hit home runs.
Boom. Got it.
Y'all make baseball way too difficult.
She has solved baseball. Shane O'Callahan says, I thought E-Rock prepped your show.
No.
Abby,
Mommy,
Oh, look who pepped up now that Mommy's in here.
and mommy is going, and daddy is going to building.
Mommy and Daddy are going to Abilities.
Well, Mommy's going to take you to Abilities today.
Mommy is going to take you to Abilities, buddy.
Okay.
Okay. One episode you asked for suggestions, you were going to give them to Erika.
Yeah, you did.
I don't want to remember.
And then I even asked you, did your show
Oh, someone said, and I was like, yeah, that weren't any good ones.
Yeah.
That's not a good one.
Miss Sarah, we're going to see Miss Sarah and Darby, and then Margaret and Bree. Tomorrow you can see Catherine, okay?
Let's see. Josh Long, ask E-Rock, will the Pelicans make the playoffs?
Yeah, Zion's going to bring them the gold.
He's going to bring them the gold. Matthew Rogelio, ask E-Rock, will you please do a weekly segment during football season?
Yeah.
I have asked you have I not told you for years that would play well? For years I've told you that.
But I can't do it just sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. Like I can't do this weekly thing. What if I don't have anything good to say? There's just got to be random, a little sprinkle here, a little sprinkle there. People are gonna get sick of it if it's People don't want that.
That's why you prepare.
But I don't want to prepare.
I can prepare.
But I just want to be me. I don't want to prepare.
What if I get it sponsored? You can make money.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely do that.
Mm-hmm.
Big Black and Mommy's phone after Abilities. Okay.
I know how to get her. Lenny Moss said, yes, Erika.
Hi,
I'm
Lenny.
going to wave to Lenny. Lenny. Wave to Lenny. All right, Kirk Taylor. Ask E-Rock, favorite subject in college?
Oh. I have no idea. I don't like subjects. I hate math. I'm not good at English. I took a million Spanishes for psychology.
Can you say anything in Spanish?
Hola, ¿cómo está?
Huh?
¿Dónde está la biblioteca?
The place you never went ever?
I know.
I know. Let's see. Craig Schilling says he's recording this for sure. E-Rock's favorite sport. Your take on favorite sport. He's going to record that.
Oh, yeah. Well, it is football.
Well, no, but it was your whole explanation about why
Oh.
baseball is stupid and everything.
Oh, basically, I just...
E-Rock knows what she's talking about. It's from
That's
Rami
right.
Kasem.
That's right, I do.
Let's see. Brigham McGold, E-Rock and Terrio. Oh, no.
Ryan brings home the gold too?
No, he's suggesting you and Terrio on a segment together. Oh, God.
Well, I'm the reason you have Terrio, first of all.
That would be a disaster.
I'm the reason he even
Oh.
remotely thought about answering your phone call.
That's not true.
Yes, it is true.
I had him on my
I was
show
like,
already.
Ryan, will you please? There's my husband. He's desperate to get you
We
on.
we weren't married yet.
We weren't? Yes, we were.
No, we weren't.
Yes, I think we were. I was like, can you please talk to my boyfriend? He's so desperate to have you on his show. And
That's
Ryan's
so
like,
stupid.
all right,
That's
let's
so
just, I won't ignore his call.
That's so stupid. Well, no, we weren't dating. No, yeah, we were. I'm trying to think.
Well, I think,
I'm
first,
trying to think when he was still playing when I had him on. It was 2010. It was 2010. He was still with the Cubs. But Erika and Ryan were friends in elementary school.
middle school.
Middle school.
Chicken! Chicken!
Anyway. E-Rock and Terrio's wife do AFR. What if you and Jana did a segment on
It would
AFR?
be really good.
Oh my God, if the two of you got in a room and talked sports together.
But Johnny knows a lot.
Oh my God, that would be hilarious. I'm not saying she doesn't know anything. I'm talking about your two personalities.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that would be funny. We could do a Terrio Moscona segment, but it would be a Jana Terrio and Erika Moscona. That would actually be funny. Oh God, that'd be funny. Funny. I think we're at the end of them, babe.
Okay, well, I'm going to finish folding clothes so I can get dressed for abilities. Rally and mommy said after abilities.
All right.
So you might know a weather update. Can you ask them that, please?
Erica's asking for a weather update. She's very upset. Drew's birthday party is this weekend, Saturday, and it's a pool party. So weather's bad, might alter things. So she's very upset. She spends a lot of time getting Drew's birthday party ready. Hi, bud. Are you coming to say hi to Dad's show? Wow, we got an appearance. Hey, bud.
I love you. Do you hate chicken? I'll get excited.
Hey, chicken.
Hey, Catherine.
Hey, Catherine.
Hey, Bimo.
Hey, Bimo.
Hey, James.
Hey, James.
Hey, Mama.
Hey, Mama.
Say Mama.
You want to go see Mama? You saw Mama last night. All right. Well, y'all got a Drew appearance before we skedaddle. Hey, remember, Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. If you're an idiot with a degenerative knee issue and then you go tear apart your meniscus, put your kid in your car, and you need an orthopedist, go see our friends at Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Diving, should have went with diving into 5.
No, because of the it's a whole. It was gonna be trucks.
It's truck party.
I thought of that, but we would do just generic pool party.
What, bud?
Big Black Mommy's fan.
Can I show them?
You didn't talk about the drive part to me.
Can I show them the decorations you made?
Not yet. Wait till I get everything out. Wait till Friday.
Can I just give them like a little appetizer at the door?
Happy Mo.
Or you can shut the door only. not
Happy
me.
Mo.
Hey, Bimo!
Hi, Laura.
Hey, Laurel! Who else? Who else?
Aiden.
Hey, Aiden.
Hey, Aiden.
Hey, Aiden.
Hey, Aiden.
Hey, Aiden. He almost conked his head on that doorknob. All right, I'll show you this is a brief appetizer of what Erika, and remember, all of her decorations are handmade. Okay? Erika does not buy decorations. This is what our door looks like right now. That's our front door. Hey, Mickey Mouse. Like, this is our front door, right? She went and made these, like, speed limit signs with whatever that is. She got, these are styrofoam balls that she cut in half. They're what? Oh, they're spheres, excuse me. And so she painted them like stop signs. Stop lights, excuse me. Have fun, so this is just the door. Can I show them this door? All right, hang on. One more thing. One more thing. It's like she made these, like the window that looks outside. Look, it's like a street with 5. Look at all this. It's crazy. The amount of time that she spent on all this stuff. This is just the beginning. Like that thing is hanging on our chandelier. Whatever that is, I don't know. Anyway. Point is, so Erika does a lot. I mean, Drew's birthday is like, it's kind of like Christmas around here. I mean, it's a national holiday. Should be anyway, in Erika's mind. So she's a big time party planner. And for Drew's birthday, it is like the Super Bowl of party planning for E-Rock. So it's a pool party, and she's worked so hard, and so if it rains. Anyway, so hoping that storm stays the hell away from here. All right, let's go tell Drew bye. Let's go tell Drew bye. I got it. I'm not going to put the camera on you, Erika. All right, here we go. Let's tell Drew bye. Okay, bud. Say bye, Dad Show.
Drew, tell Dad Show bye.
Bye, Dad Show. Blow him a kiss.
Oh,
Very
you're
sweet.
Sweetest in the world.
Okay, bud. Thanks, y'all. We'll see you later.